Hey everybody, my name is Kim Kubensky and this is my dear friend Jill Devich. We've been talking about doing this video for quite some time and decided that, right now is the best time. I know that, we have a lot of passion and for what we're doing right now. And we came across something for me 22 months ago. Jill was actually one of the very first people that I introduced this to. And forgive me, this is my first live, but I'm getting to the point where, we're doing something that's so unbelievably life-changing that we really need to put this information out there for people, educate you guys, and then, if you see something that you like, definitely reach out to us, because I obviously have seen a major life change just in myself. But 22 months ago, I discovered something that I didn't necessarily know how profound at the time it would be. It was something that I thought maybe was a little bit too good to be true, but has become something that has completely transformed my life, my son's life, our dog's life, and hundreds and hundreds of people that we know, so many people. And my friend Jill has a 7-year-old son named Ian. He was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder at the age of 3 years old. So they've been on this journey for the last 4 years. And when I started researching, some of the products that we're using right now, reducing oxidative stress, upregulating glutathione inside the body in an all-natural way, repairing mitochondrial dysfunction, all of those things were tying into everything that we're doing. And that is one of the root sources of autism. And so she's an RN. She's an extremely well-studied, well-researched individual. She's an RN, IBCLC. She's been in OBGYN, obstetrics, and pediatrics for over 20 years. So this is a individual who's in the medical community. I'm not, but I will say that, when I started researching, because I'm somebody who really takes things to a different level, I'm not just someone that believes everything that people say either. So it's something that I took to research as well. And, I wasn't sure how she was going to react when I first brought this to her attention. And but I thought to myself, if this did what it did to me, it's going to do this to other people. And why would I keep it to myself? And I've become so passionate in sharing this, and to know what this has done for Jill's health, people in her family that she's going to talk about when it comes to athletic recovery, skin health, neck issues, neck pain, blood pressure, arthritis, knee and joint pain, and the list goes on. I think about if I would have kept this to myself, her family would not have this blessing right now. And so I wanted to do this live. I'm not good at live, but I really don't care anymore. I'll get there, but I just wanted to share. So I just, I want her to kind of talk about her journey, her story, and share what you've kind of gone through.
Yeah, it's kind of been a roller coaster ride of a journey for sure. I mean, my husband and I, my husband is also very well studied. He's a chiropractor, and skeptical to say the least. So when we brought this to him, I was nervous because I'm always trying to make a case for, I'm a very healthy, natural person and like to try to find things that are more natural to help heal our body. So when this was presented to me, I was in shock as to how amazing it actually is. And so our journey started with Ian, especially. I have 3 kids. I have one will be 15, my daughter, and I have a middle son who's 11, and my youngest is Ian. He's 7, soon to be 8 in June, which I cannot believe already. But our journey started when he was just shy of 3 years old, and we knew something just wasn't quite right. And I just kept saying, boy, he is really having trouble regulating, or he's overstimulated, and we just couldn't figure out. His speech was, he had his own language, we called it. He was using jargon, and he had met every milestone that a baby and toddler should have met. But then there was this stagnation that he reached, and this point of intolerance, and his brain, it was like, now looking back, a brain on fire, literally. He could not even go to Target or anywhere that had any people, because if we brought him into those situations, he would just completely collapse and cry and scream. And it's like he couldn't even process the input coming in from the outside world. It was alarming, to say the least. And finally, I told Nick, I said, he'll grow out of this. And my husband looked at me and he said, will he? And that's when we started to go down the road of diagnosis, and something wasn't quite right. So therein started the journey, the therapy, the conventional methods, which I'm so grateful that we were able to do those things, and they are helpful. But we were not seeing any real progress. We were not living any kind of a life with our children. We were stuck tag teaming, our lives. We couldn't go anywhere together as a family. We couldn't go out. We couldn't do anything. And so it was very hard on our marriage, our family life, our other 2 kids. And so I just started this journey. Like, I knew there had to be something in Ian that was broken. It needed to be fixed. He was created perfect. He was born perfect. Something happened to him. He has a lot of dysfunction, autism. 1 in 68 children are now diagnosed with an autism spectrum disorder, ADHD. All of these things are skyrocketing. And they don't know always why. I mean, our food system, the toxins, the environment we live in, vaccines, all of these things could contribute, but no single one is particularly 100% responsible. But I knew that if I could find the right things for Ian and help his body heal, put the right things back in, that our bodies are smart, that he could function, better. And so I did see homeopathy, natural chiropractors. I tried creams for him to increase his glutathione. I tried topical creams to help his methylation. I had his DNA tested. I had his hair tested to see what are the missing pieces here. Where is his dysfunction, and how can I help repair his body and help it to function better? And I know inflammation is a huge source of problems with autism. It's like their brain is literally on fire. Inflammation is the gasoline. There's just a constant barrage of things happening to these children, more so than with you and I. And so how do we help them? And so I've seen little improvement with some of the natural things that we tried, money, time. I just felt like I was racing the clock to try to get him help before age 8, coming up where his brain is going to be, more fully developed. And so when Kim introduced this to me and I started looking into glutathione, and that's just one of the things that activating our NRF2 is upregulating our glutathione by over 300%. A light went off and I was just floored, and I researched and I read and I kept thinking, how can this be, and how do, and then it dawned on me that my husband Nick had brought home a study not that long before she had introduced this product to me, and it was talking about activating NRF2 through sulforaphane, which is a broccoli component, and it was a small but very compelling study that talked about severe to moderate to severe autistic individuals being placed on this product, and the results were staggering. It was profound, and so I thought back to that.
And to know that the NRF2 activation that we utilize, which is all natural, is 7 times stronger than what she was looking at.
Oh my gosh. And so then I knew there had to be a way. If I had to stand on my head and sing Mary Had a Little Lamb, I was going to get this stuff into this kid.
You know what happened though? Like, so the day that this came into my life, many people don't know my story, and I'm not going to get into that today, but I was on my knees. I truly feel that nothing happens by chance. It's not a coincidence. There's an intervention here, and when I joined this, I wrote down people, and Jill was at the top of my list, and I truly think you were praying for something to get into Ian's body.
Every day, all day.
And it's almost like, you know, I knew, and I had a choice. I looked at my list and I thought, you know what, I have to call her. Like, I want you guys to know she's got more to talk about, but this is a child. This is a child's life who is significantly different. And then she's going to talk about how in a little bit here, but we're on Facebook Live because this is real. This is, like you said, we live in such a toxic world. We are being assaulted by our food, our water, our products, everything we do. We breathe air. And there's nothing out there that has ever been able to battle that until now. This is giving us our best chance at optimal health. And it's so very profound that this isn't one of those fad product lines. It's not anything. I mean, we have a fact. It's science fact, not science fiction, and we have an answer to back up every question that there is, and the science is so unbelievably irrefutable. But I want you to talk about more of your journey as to what kind of changes that you've seen in Ian, where you came from, like you mentioned, and where you are now.
So bad, and it is too good not to share with people, and it's so real, and it's helped so many people in my family, but Ian's results have been amazing, and people that haven't seen him for a while are just blown away. When he was 3 and he was diagnosed, it was a pure hell that we were living in. Honestly, it was. So I can hardly think about it because I cannot go to that place anymore because we're so far removed from it. But when I think about it, it's so traumatizing because it was. I don't think. Well, nobody can know what you have gone through personally, but it was so awful. And to see him screaming, I have it on video when I was seeing the homeopath, screaming and crying and having like what she called the brain screams, and him trying to use the bathroom and have a bowel movement. It was like a nightmare. We had to give him like enemas every time he had to go poop. It was, trying to get probiotics in him and trying to do this and trying to do that. For him to function, tried a gluten-free diet. I mean, didn't see really any results there. When we had started these products in the summer, 20 months ago, he was in a summer school program through Parkview Elementary. And I asked his teacher at the end of August, how it went. And she said, it's interesting, Jill, because he is like a different child from June until August. So he had been on the products
2 months.
Not even 2 months at that point, and she's telling me, and I didn't say anything to her. And, we've had our things with him, and he still has his certain quirks, but we are living a life now that we can actually call life, living. It's amazing. And doing things as a family. He's skiing, he's swimming, he's social, he's engaging with people, he's looking out the window and unfortunately saying it's January because it's snowing and it's so cold, and for him to recognize January, cold, snow, his vocabulary is off the charts. His, social interaction, I can't even tell you. I mean, school, he's sitting, he's completing lessons, he's doing things. He's, before he could sit for about 3 minutes in school, and now he's doing class and stations and lessons and reading and spelling, 100% in his spelling tests almost every week. He is so different now, and we have a way to go, but we have our lives back. He has a life, he has a chance for a future. I want him to be the best version of himself, and if it's him with autism or whatever, so be it. I've looked at things now so differently, and he can teach the world so many things, the way he looks at the world. I like that. I don't want to change him, but I want him to live fully. And, his gut issues are gone. His brain issues, I also have him taking the brain drink. The kid could not take B vitamins. I tried.
NRF2 activation.
For the brain, yes, crosses the blood-brain barrier. It has ingredients in it that help him calm, focus, attention. And I could not give the child B vitamins because his body was in such disarray and dysfunction that he couldn't process B vitamins at all, topically or however. A doctor in our company did mention to me, he said, well, you can just start out slowly with him and try it again. And I was so nervous. And so I tried the brain drink, and lo and behold, he had been on NRF2 activation then for some time. Now that pathway is working, he's detoxing like he should. The brain drink is wonderful. He has no issue with the brain drink, none at all. So every day it goes to school, he calls it my juice, and he knows these things help him. I give him his NRF 1 and 2 and probiotic in the morning. The fish oil, I can't say enough about our fish oil. I have been told by so many doctors, you need to get fish oil into this child. I'm like, you come into my house and you give fish oil to my child. Yeah, they're
disgusting, most of them.
And they're rancid, and they're not pure, and they're not tested.
Heavy metals.
Yes, and Ian already has heavy metal issues. Right. We've had him tested for that as well. So that is stored in the brain, the heavy metals from wherever he got those from. And so he needs a pure fish oil with no heavy metals, and then that is very safe to take, traceable from boat to the bottle.
Yeah.
And I puncture the thing and I squirt it into his juice, and there is no fishy taste. He drinks that down, and many kids with autism are so keen, you cannot hide things very well for them. And I have never been so excited. He takes the fish oil, and it's amazing.
I know.
For his brain cells, the synapses in his brain, the cell integrity, for the information to go in and out like it should. And, it's just so important for brain health. And a lot of children with autism have had a lot lessening in their symptoms with fish oil added, so I'm really happy to say that.
That and even the immune health with the fish oil.
Because every area of Ian had some dysfunction: immune, gut, brain, mitochondria. Inflammation, all of it.
And did you talk about how you're repairing his mitochondria? Did you?
I mentioned it, but yes, we are doing the. So he was tested as well, and every autism expert will say it's a disease of also the mitochondrial dysfunction, and we had his DNA tested, and he did test for mitochondrial dysfunction, which was no surprise to me. So the fact that we have a mitochondrial repair for him to be on is huge.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. He does so well with these things, and I'm so thankful, and it's about time that I shared the story.
We have been wanting to do this
forever.
Facebook Live is intimidating.
It can
but
be,
look
but
now it's not that hard, right?
Because people need to hear.
We do. I plan to be doing more of these, because I cannot describe in the last 22 months only. Think about this. We're just getting started. We're just starting, and we have multiple hundreds of people that have seen complete transformations in their health, from one end of the spectrum to the other, from feeling ill and so incredibly sick and tired and sick and tired of being sick and tired to now living life, and doing things that they haven't done in years, and we introduced this to somebody recently, and gosh, ADHD, to get off medications. It's just, there's just so much. And, this isn't, I want to make sure that you do realize that we're not making claims to cure, prevent, treat, mitigate disease. What we're doing is giving the body the best chance it has to turn itself back on to heal. And these products, they're backed by science. And they're literally the best things that could have ever happened to us.
Absolutely,
and
for sure.
I want just to, briefly, I want her to touch on just a few more of the things that she's seen just within inside of her own family and her own self, and then we're going to wrap it up. I appreciate all you guys coming on. I see Kim, Ray, Wes, even. Hi, guys. I'm so blessed that you guys are taking the time to watch this, because those of you guys who even went to high school with us, you know our hearts, you know that this is it, and if there's anything that we've said that could help you, research oxidative stress. And look at all the conditions that it's tied to. Research low glutathione. Research mitochondrial dysfunction. It's about basically everything that you don't want in your life. And we have some tools that can help you But I want Jill to finish up by saying, you know, kind of just your story too, like skin health.
Yeah, skin health.
Nerf
is
2
huge.
technology
Yeah,
in the
right.
skin
And
in a
our
skin
bodies
system.
recognize
Hello.
the ingredients that we have here because they're food. Our bodies know what to do with that, and I think that is so important to understand. And yes, all of those things that she mentioned, getting to the root of our problems.
Right.
You know, and helping our bodies heal through things that our bodies recognize, turning back on the switches, turning off the bad switches, turning on the good ones. And it's so amazing. And for myself, I've had skin health. I have more energy. I have what I would describe as a calm focus. I always describe myself to be a healthy person. I don't have ailments, nor do I want them. And I feel like I'm activating myself to feel and, you know, be the best version of myself. And my husband, who is the world's biggest skeptic, and he's under stress every day in his job, and, you know, has, you know, sore in joints and all this because of what he does every single day. And he's doing so much better. My kids, you know, I want them to be functioning at their highest level cognitively with our brain drink. One of my other children, they are allowed to bring the brain drink to school. It was only water or nothing until she found out about this, and then she said, or the brain drink is welcome at school too. So, you know, some people in my family have had, you know, most people have at some point some joint problems, neck problems, which are huge in my family. And, you know, I have to say, since activating their bodies and their NRF2, also such a decrease in joint problems. I'm huge into working out. My husband and I both. So for recovery from our, you know, when we exercise, and to the degree that we do, we put ourselves in an increased state of oxidative stress. And so although exercise is very good for the body, we need to help the body recover. Especially at the age that we're at.
I know,
over
right?
40.
Oh,
so,
I'm gonna be
you know,
43.
it's been huge for that. Axio every day, or the brain drink goes every day back to work with my husband in the afternoon, so he can power through his day. And, you know, my 86-year-old grandma, shout out to
Yeah.
you know, I have her on this little yellow pill, and after 5 days she had said, I can't explain it, what I feel, the energy, the sleep, not getting up in the night, you know, so many things. So, you know, my parents both, my dad has tummy issues and joint issues, and he's now going through arthritis and every joint in his whole body, and his knee has been just awful. And he's noticed just in this very short time that his knee is improving as well. You know, so...
and your mom, her neck.
Blood pressure. Uncontrolled blood pressure. Neck
Uncontrolled
pain,
blood pressure.
Gone. It's just so many people getting off things that they may not need pharmaceutically wise when they activate their body.
Right.
You know, I'm a medically trained person. I agree with, you know, medicine, and a lot of areas we need it, but maybe we won't have to go to the doctor so often if our bodies are functioning how they should be functioning. And so if you do Google oxidative stress, I encourage you to do that. You know, all of these conditions, so many of them are just directly related. So imagine if you reduce your oxidative stress level in your body, you know, what's going to happen? Good things. And so it's so different for everybody, but amazing nonetheless. So people know me from around town. They have seen me with Ian. They have seen the struggles. They have seen it real and know what I've gone through, and oh, poor Jill, and oh, it's so sad, and oh, what she goes through. And, you know, I feel all that, and it's been horrible. And now I can see people saying, oh, look at Jill, look at Ian, you know, they're doing so good. And, you know, they see the difference in him and the difference in me, just the way, you know, I never have dealt with anxiety in my life until this hit our family like a lead weight. It was awful. And, you know, to have this weight lifted off, like my shoulders and my husband, and not that it's perfect, we still have our, you know, normal life, our new normal, but it is so amazing compared to where we were. I cannot even describe it, actually.
And one of the things to know that's so important is so many people are looking for a quick fix to health. And,
Absolutely.
you know, we have to realize that it took us a really long time, like continual assault by this world that we live in, for us to get to where we are. So it's not going to happen overnight, and too many people are giving up on the process too soon. This deserves the true due diligence that you need to give it. This is something that is life changing. It's it's a process.
That's exactly what I was gonna
But
say.
it is getting to the root
Yes.
source. It's getting to the cellular level. And so that is one of the biggest things that I could say is that, you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. My kids have their mom back. My husband has his wife back.
I would
She
say
has
that too.
her family back.
Yes.
And I was with her. Like, I knew, and I've seen Nick's skepticism through all of this, and he's a chiropractor. And he's firsthand seeing the transformations, so much so that he is engaging.
He is, and he's my biggest cheerleader now.
He is.
Yes.
And so it's just this, you guys, this is real. And I'm going to wrap this up because I don't want to get it too long, but this is so real. If you have questions, reach out to one of us. We can certainly help you, guide you with information. But we do this because, we're very passionate about helping other people. When this helped me after how sick I was, I thought, if this is going to help me, this is going to help so many people. And if this could do half of what it was going to say it would do, hello.
Right.
So thank you guys for
Thank you
tuning
so
in
much.
to our first Facebook Live, a little rusty, but that's okay. Anyways, we did good, I think. I think we did.
just
But
fine.
you
This
know
is a
what?
real
We just,
thing.
it is. This is
real
real,
people,
and we
real
just
life,
need to get this
so.
information out, and we're going to continue to do that. So
Yes.
stay the course. That's right, Ray. Stay the course because it's not one and done. It's not 1 month and done.
Give it time, people.
Don't even
Right.
do it if you're going to only give it 30 days.
Right.
Like, but we're here to guide. We're here to help, and really appreciate you guys tuning in. So have an awesome rest of your day, and I don't know. I'm going to see who I can find to do this with next. See you later, guys.